Hey everybody, it's Christian, and I just wanted to show you this. This is a Google slide deck, and I've embedded PearDeck on it. That way, students can use this as you lead them through it in order to look to see if they really truly understand which one of these rivers is the Wabash, which one is the White River, and so on and so on. I also put the land regions on here, and so we can check and see if they know what the land regions are. And on top of that, I included some descriptions of the land regions on the right side, and they have to drag a little red star onto the correct land region that is described. So those are the three activities that they would do in this. In order to start the PearDeck, I have installed into Google Chrome this little PearDeck extension. So when I click on it, it will come up over on the right side. Now, I've already added all the questions, and you can tell I have because down at the bottom it has the little pair and it says students choose an option. So several of the slides are multiple choice, and then a couple of the slides are drag a little star and then drop it on the right spot. So I wanted to show you how this works. I'm going to say start a lesson. And when I do that, what'll come up is a couple different boxes. One of them is you can have them do it independently as a self-paced activity, or you can do it as a group and do an instructor-paced activity. And you're going to get probably more information from this very quickly. You still will get really good information from the student-paced, but you actually have to spend a little bit of your time away from kids in order to see that. So we're going to do the instructor-paced activity. When I start it, it will come up, and sometimes it has me log into Google. This time it did not do that since I'm already in. And two things come up. One of them comes up, this one I will want to put, just leave on my desktop. So I'm going to actually put that one up here. And then I would project this part on my screen up front so all my students could see it. At this point, what I'm going to do is I'm going to open another window here, and it's the window that you see down on the bottom, and I'm going to act as a student. So I'm going to type joinpd.com, and then it's going to go here. It's going to say enter a code. So I'm going to put WFT TAL. There's no space there. It looks like there would be, but there's not. At this point, students will enter their ID number with the @wws.k12.in.us, and I'm going to be a student. So the first thing I ask them is, how are you feeling today? And they will put something in, or they'll skip it. They don't have to answer that. The very first question is coming up for me now as a student. And so the teacher at this point, you would see how many students are connected, and if you have 20 students in the classroom that day, then you should see it says 20 students connected, and you can start the class. When you start the class, it will go to that same first question that the kids are on. The other thing you can do is just put a welcome slide in, and that welcome slide could just say get ready to go through and answer some questions, or it might have a joke on it, all kinds of different things that you can have. So the slide that you see here is what students would see up front. The slide that you see here is what I see as a teacher. And then down here is what a student would see. So it says, what is the name of River 1? So I want to put the Kankakee River, and I'm going to click that. And the minute I do it, you'll notice that it says that one student has answered Kankakee River. When other students answer, then the rest of this would populate. And if you hover over it, you can see the names of which students have answered which one of the answers. Now, it's not looking for a correct answer. You're the one that holds that information and is able to see if all of your kids know it. So if most kids picked the Wabash River, I would know that we need to go back and review that one again. The other way to see this is go to a grid layout, and you'll notice that the name of the student is here, and then the answer that that student has provided is in the box. Students cannot see this because you have it on your computer, and you have placed this on the screen up front. So that's kind of the nice part. Let's say that we get done with that question. So remember, as a student, especially a student in 4th grade, I probably am going to be all over the place, and I might be sitting here and I might be kind of switching back and forth between answers. So it's important just to say to the students, hey, all right, final answers. And then once they do that, if you say lock screens, it will lock the response. They'll still see what they answered, but now you can go through and discuss it. I want to show the responses of the entire class, and I can either do that using the table here by using the overlay layout, or I can show each person's response. Now, we don't want to embarrass students, especially if they don't have the right answer, but we can show those responses and notice that there are no student names associated with the response. So over on this side, this is what the teacher sees, and I can see who has answered which answer, and here is what each one of the students have answered. I think it's better on the multiple choice to provide this type of layout. That way the students can see how many people have answered which one, and as long as you lock the screens first, they can't change those answers. So remember, when I hover over the responses on my side, I can see who answered which one, but over here when I hover, that doesn't happen. So students are free to feel good about what they've put, and then if they put the wrong thing I always like to do is unlock the screens and say, all right, go ahead and answer the correct answer, and we should see all the students then switch their answer to the Kankakee River. So I'm going to hide the responses now, and you'll see that first question. To go to the next question, I simply would just click on this next button, and when I do that, it's now asking for what is the name of land region 2. As a student, it's gone to that one, and I can select my answer and kind of move on from there. And that's what this looks like.